Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another Home Studio Trainer Show, and this is the live stream version. Hopefully all you guys are doing okay. Let's see, we've got one person. We got one person here. Let's see if we can get a few more. I wish I could post a warning as to when these things were coming a little sooner than an hour before. But I never know what my work schedule is going to be. Hey, we got Don Oliver here and Billy Morgan. Oh, Edgar Price is here. Excellent. Now, my voice is going to be a little bit rough because I'm not wearing my headphones. And the fact that I regulate how loud I speak, with the headphones, it's really hard to do it live. But I need my headphones off so that I can use my speakers for the mastering portion for today. So it should be good. Oh, you see 4 people. Okay, oh yeah, I see 4 people now. Excellent. If you guys could, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe here to my YouTube channel. If you're watching over on Rumble, please click the follow button. And if you're a Patreon person, I appreciate your support. There is always a link to my Patreon in every video and live stream. So if you don't see it, let me know, and I'll make sure that you get a link. All right. So let's go back to the show main. That's what it's called on my OBS. Hopefully everybody is doing well. We've only got 4 people here. Okay, so here's my goal for today. I'm hoping to get some ideas on your mastering chains. I'm going to show you what I do. Sometimes I just use a fat channel. Sometimes I actually use several of the PreSonus effects. I don't have any third-party mastering software, so if you guys have a recommendation, you can actually let the world know by posting in the chat. 6 people in here now. Mark Holly is here. Good to see you, Mark. So, excuse the rough voice. With my headphones, I have a volume regulator on my headphones, and it helps me from speaking too loud. So I'm going to try to speak at a good level so that my voice doesn't distort. Okay, so I've got a song that I did many years ago, back in, I think, 2007, 2006, something like that, and it was actually recorded and mixed down from a VS-2480. So this went right to disc when I mixed it down, and I pulled the original mix, which is unmastered. I pulled it off of disc and I put it here in Studio One. I found a whole bunch of old files, so it should be good. Let's see. Let's answer to your subject question. Sometimes I use TuneTracks Master Pack. Oh, in Easy Mix. Yeah, somebody told me about that. What did I used to use? Tracks. It was something Tracks that I used to use, because it had a really good limiter that I used to put on the main outs in Studio One. I'm trying to remember what the heck it was called. I was close. It was called T-Rex. And I used the mastering limiter that was in the T-Rex version at that time. And it was what I did, what I used to actually master all of my stuff before I really started using the PreSonus stuff, which my T-Rex, by the time it expired and everything, it was on my old Windows 98. Isn't that scary? Yeah, I think it was Windows 98 or Windows 8, something like that. I forget what the order was. I'm on a Mac now, so I'm pretty much oblivious. All right, we got 12 people in here right now. Ken Beck is here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, T-Rex was awesome. It really worked well. They did one update to it, and then it never worked after that. So, I don't know. It never worked as well after that. And I stopped using it. I started using the PreSonus stuff when the Fad channel really started being developed and everything. And so, mostly, I use the Fad channel. But I'm going to show you guys that here in a few minutes. All right, so let's do this. We have 12 people in here. I think that's enough to get this show on the road. Let's go to the classroom. All right. So this is a very old song back when I had a voice. It is called Pride, and it was all of the instruments were recorded live going into my VS 2480 at the time. There was only one drum sequence that is at the very beginning, and it took forever at that time to get it to sync up with everything that I had. So I'm going to play a little portion of it here in the middle, so you guys can actually hear what the song sounds like, and this is unmastered. Little boy, I cannot help but think of how the world will treat him. Will he feel this much joy? The path we walk betray our young and spoil the chance for their own children. Pride was a force, we would be invincible. If God was a weapon, we'd blow ourselves to hell. If truth was our side, all would seem invisible. If blood had a value, would we have enough to sell? All right, so there's a little sample of it. It's a very dramatic song, maybe a little overly dramatic, but it was written at the time. My son, I think he turned 5 or 6, so it should be 2006 that I wrote and recorded this. I was worried about the world at that time. I don't even remember what was going on at the time. It wasn't even 9/11 yet, so, but this is the raw mix out of the VS 2480. There's no compression on the mix. I mean, there's compression on some of the tracks and stuff. The V-Drum kit, I believe that V-Drum kit, I played it live, and I believe that V-Drum kit was the 12? Was it the TD12? I think it was the TD12. So it was the smaller kit at that time. And the bass is live. The bass is my Fender Precision. My acoustic guitars, of course. It's my old million-year-old acoustic guitar. And at that time, I think the strings were like 4 years old. And now they're like 12 years old. Maybe even older than that. So it really needs a little bit of help, especially on the high end and on the low end. So like I said, I don't have my headphones on right now, so my voice is pretty clear. And I know that sounds like a silly reference, but my headphone audio volume in my headphones helps me speak more clearly. So if at some point I'm not understandable, let me know. But I've got my speakers on and then a very slight subwoofer, just slight, because I'm under this enclosure right here. So this is up above me is my bed, and it's so perfect. I've got all of these posts and stuff where I hang all my cameras and everything. It's really cool, but I need the subwoofer a little bit because it doesn't really carry the bass in these speakers too much. So I've calibrated this stuff, what do they say, 6 ways to Sunday. And my mixes translate perfectly from here outside. And I think that's really important to point out, too. If you're going to do your own mastering, you really got to be used to your room. You really got to understand how your room and everything translates from your room to like the car or a boombox or something. And so far, I've had really good luck with this setup. Really good luck with this setup. All right, so one of the louder parts in the song is over here. Hey, Bobby Booth is here. Good to see you. Hey, Kevin, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So, like I said, this is unmastered. It needs a lot of help, at least according to my speakers. And we're going to try to fix this with my mastering chain. And then what I want you guys to do is, if you want me to read something directly, please type @HomeStudioTrainer in the chat. and then post your mastering chain, and maybe we'll try a couple of the suggestions. All right, so I'm going to try to turn up my volume just a little bit here on my speakers, and we're going to kind of get this show on the road. All right, so first, I have a very quiet part at the beginning and a almost a telephone-style vocal.
If pride was a force, we would be invincible. If God was a weapon, we'd blow ourselves to hell. If truth was our side, all would be invisible.
All right, so one of the things I could do, if I wanted to, is I could actually clip a little bit of this before the drum hits. Let me turn off the snapping. For single songs, I master in the song page. So let's see here. All right, so let's see. Okay, so it's right here. So one of the things that I could do is I could take my split tool and take this here, because I'm really not big on putting compression where it doesn't need to be. But I can now take this part and raise it a bit.
If pride was a force.
But see, I don't want to wreck the dramatics of the intro. So let's go here.
If God was a weapon, we'd blow ourselves to hell.
And that totally destroyed it. Okay, I wanted to try that. I wanted to see what it would sound like. So I'm actually going to turn it down just a little.
We blow ourselves to hell.
Nah, you know. No, I don't like that at all. So I am actually going to go back to the original. I just wanted to see what actually balancing out that intro. All right, so let's see if some of the dramatics come back here.
We blow ourselves to hell. If truth was our side.
All right, so let's do this here. Let me go for my view meters. God, I haven't done this in so long. View meters right here. Actually, that's not the one I want. Extreme view. That's the tuner. Well, you know, maybe this will work. I'm going to put this on the post. All right, it's really low. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to see if I can zoom. There we go. So let's hit play. Yeah, we've got a lot of room. All right, perfect. All right. So let's see. We got 15 people in here. Good to see everybody. We're kind of playing around with how I do some of my mastering, and then I'm going to try some of your suggestions. All right, so the first thing, I start with the fat channel, and hopefully that works. There we go. So the next thing I want to do is I want to expand it. And I want to turn on, I don't need the gate. I'm going to turn on the compressor and the EQ. I like to put the EQ first. And then the compressor. There we go. And I just use the stock compressor that's here. Let's see. So I got the compressor and the EQ. So, and the limiter. I want the limiter. So I'm going to see. Yeah, but see, it's all right.
As I watch my little boy, I cannot
Okay, you can see I've got the limiter set to 0. I could actually go down 1 or just go like this. -1, just so that I give myself a little bit of a break. So I'm using the gain from the compressor, which I don't think I'm going to use. I think I'm just going to use the equalizer and the limiter. Now this is how I master. This isn't the be all to end all ways to master. I'm just showing you how I do it, which might be oversimplistic. So take from it what you will, and we're gonna start doing some of your guys' suggestions here after I do this. All right. So let's see.
Was I saying all would be invisible if blood had a value?
All right.
We have enough to sell.
Got it.
As I watch my little boy.
Okay, so at this point for me, I know unless I start doing some real big adjustments EQ wise, I know that I'm not going to clip. This is going to keep it from clipping. Now, what you don't want to do, at least in my opinion, when you're doing your mastering, if you're going to use a limiter to control your clipping, you don't want to overuse the limiter. Otherwise, you get that awful pumping. And you got some of that pumping in some of the mid to late 80s, maybe early 90s. It was crazy. For a while, they were all going for the maximum volume, and it was nuts. I don't think people are mixing that way anymore or mastering. All right, so let's see what our other VU meters actually say here.
Was I saying all would be invisible if blood had a value?
Okay, so let's check the phase. Gotta remember where all this stuff is. I haven't done mastering for a while. That's the phaser. Oh, no. Phase meter. All right, so we're going to actually put this here right after. There we go. So let's see.
Was I saying all would be invisible if
That's actually pretty good.
was I saying all would be invisible if blood had a value? We have enough to sell.
All right, very cool. All right, so we have no phase issues. All right, so usually like with the phase meter, I like to try to make sure I've got a... Now this is the... this is the not technical explanation for the phase meter. I like to try to make sure that the correction stays to the right.
Was I saying all would be
This looks really good.
invisible if blood had a value?
I'm sorry I can't get more technical, but there are so many things that I still do just by hearing and by sight that I used to do with my old analog gear. It's crazy.
Was I saying, boy, I cannot help but think of how the world.
All right, so what do you guys think of the low end? I don't know if any of you guys are listening to everything on your home speakers or not, but if you guys are, tell me what you guys think.
Boy, I cannot help but think of how the world treat him. Will he feel this much joy? Will the path we walk betray our young and spoil the
I
chance?
think the low end is pretty good. I don't know if I should make too much more adjustment to it. I'm just going to kind of play a little bit.
Boy, I cannot help but think of how the world treat him. Will he feel this much joy? Will the path we walk betray our young and spoil the chance for their own children? Pride was a force, we would be
like the adjustment I made on the high end. It brought out some of the sibilance, brought out the cymbals real nice, because I think in this, the electronic kit was everything but the cymbals were real and mic'd.
Invisible, if blood had a value, would we have enough to say invisible? If blood had a value,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's how these were done. That's why the cymbals sound really good. Let's see. Edgar Price says, how do you fix the phasing if it were drifting left? Okay, so that would mean I would have to go into the mix and find the culprit. I suppose one thing that I could do is I could split this into 2 mono channels, left and right, since it's a real stereo mix, and I could flip the phase. I don't think I don't know if that would even work, but I suppose I could. I don't think the mix tool will make much difference. Let's go ahead and try that real quick. Let's open up the effects here. Let's see, A, B, C, D. I could just do the choice, but I like doing it this way. I got to remember where stuff is. I haven't done any mastering for quite some time. All right. Like to use plan music hack. Oh, I've never heard of that one. Low End says I like to use Master Plan by Music Hack. I've actually never heard of that. All right, so I should be able to flip the phase. I thought I could here. Block, swap channels. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Now, I don't know if this would work if the phasing was already bad, but here is a really good example. Let me see if I can pin this. And then go to the mix tool. All right, so here it is with the phase proper. And here it is. There we go. Okay, as you can see, if the phase is wrong, you might be able to correct it here, but I think that for the most part, if the phase is wrong, the culprit is going to be in the individual tracks. Hey, Sheila just came to join us. Good to see you, Sheila. Glad you could make it. So if the phase is wrong, you can hear the low end go away, and you can, at least on my speakers while I'm sitting in front of it, you can hear a real funky kind of a wishy-wash going on in your ears. Wishy-wash. I am just full of professional terms. See, the bass is completely gone now. But you can see what the phase meter is telling us. It's like, oh my God. And the actual meter itself lays flat instead of vertical. Hey, Johnny Lipsham is here. Good to see you, Johnny. Yes, that's probably a good idea, Bobby. You should always check the phase of everything before you actually start your mix, because you'll notice it right away. When you start adding effects, it's just going to get worse. Bobby, that is really good advice. So this should be on your main outs before you even start your mix if you have all your separate tracks. That's good advice. All right, so that is a mix that's out of phase. Here is it back in phase. Invisible, if blood had a value, we have enough to sell. The other thing to know too, hey, Johnny says correct. Yes, it is really a good idea. This should always be in your mastering chain. It should always be in your mixing chain. If you fix it there, you should never need this in your mastering chain. All right. What was I going to say now? Oh, I had a point. Darn it. I lost my point. I remember now. So also be aware that sometimes an effect placed on your mix or on a particular instrument within your mix can ruin the phase. So if your mix looks like this before you even start doing anything, you'll have to go back to your individual tracks and kind of audition them one at a time to find the culprit. But if your mix comes up this bad, then something in your mixing chain, like if you're using a mix bus, some people like to use the mix bus and actually compress a little bit, before they actually go to mastering. You gotta go look for the issue there, because it is really, really doubtful that one track is going to cause this. Yeah. All right. So that was a good little test to see what in phase and out of phase is. So you really got to correct it if you're getting your meter way over this way and your the meter actually starts looking like a pancake. Invisible. Yeah. So according to this, I've actually got some pretty good separation going on my left and right channels, and I have nothing interfering with anything else. Invisible, if I betray our young and spoil the chance for their own children, pride was a fall. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so we don't need the phase meter, and we don't need the mix tool. Just like that. All right, let's go back to our fat channel. And you can see that I brightened it up a little bit. Now, none of this is scientific. None of this is using the loudness meters or anything like that. The way that I master the way I did back in the 80s. I do everything by ear. I've tried some of the mastering software that's out there and everything, and I haven't found one that I like yet. The one that I hate the most, that in my opinion, as far as its presets go, is too exaggerated, is I just had it. Oh, God, this getting old thing is getting old. Ozone. Good grief. Ozone, some people swear by the presets, and I don't know if just my stuff is already close enough and you use Ozone and it just wrecks everything, at least on my stuff. So that makes a difference. As Bobby Booth says, in my opinion, the electric guitars are usually the ones that are out of phase. Yes, especially if you've actually taken a guitar part and duplicated it and panned it left and right. That can cause it. Bobby's right on that one. All right, so I took a little bit of the mid-range out and added a little bit of high-end to make it a little deeper. So let's do a before and after. Here's before. Betray our young and spoil the chance for their own children. Pride was a fall. Here is after. We would be invincible if God was a weapon. We'd blow ourselves to hell. If truth was our side, all would seem invisible. Here it is again before. You can even hear the volume change. After. Try to keep a picture in my mind. A picture of the way that I was told it had to be. I like it there. Are we running with the devil right behind? Or are we just blaming someone else to take away the guilt spawned by pride? Was a force. We would be invincible if... Very cool. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I did the before and after. We are the limiter's using a little bit. And it looks like it's reducing. Let's actually get. It's not reducing by much. It's very slight. Are we running with the devil right Now we've got the compressor on, but I'm only using it for the gain. Yeah, Sheila makes a good point. She says presets are only a guide. You can tweak a preset to your desired sound and then save it as your own. True. But there are several presets in Studio One that are actually quite usable. You know what? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go here and I am going to save this preset. Let's see, store preset. And I am going to call this Master Preset 1. So this is going to be, you know what, I'm going to put, oops. All right, I'm going to retype this here. HST. You know, I got to change the color on this because it's, there we go. So HST preset 1. And the description. Pride. There we go. All right, so now I can go back to this anytime I need to. All right, so let's actually try some of the presets, and then if you guys have any suggestions, I will try yours. So let's see. Let's go to the presets, and we'll see here, mixing and mastering. Look at that. So here's one called Full Show. Oh, let's see what this sounds like. Oh, actually, let's do it before. I was told it had to be. Yeah, low ends presets are my friend. All right, here it is. Didn't do anything. Oh, actually, you can hear the compression. Let's try another preset. Let's go with heavy mix. Didn't really do anything. Meter's not even moving. All right, so let's try another one. It didn't sound very heavy. Let's go with light mix. I gotta assume that this isn't really gonna do anything. Oh. All right, we're dealing with a lot of compression. And you can see that on the main out. All right, let's go. Let's try another one. Let's try Mix Clear or Master Clear. Oh, I just love the pictures. Oh, now that's not bad. Here's before. Here's after. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad, but not a lot of volume boost in that. All right, Master Color. Before. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. Yeah, there was way too much compression on that. All right, so these aren't really doing too much. So here's Old Fashioned. I got to see what this is. Yeah, that's Old Fashioned. That's way too much compression, too. Puncher. Oh, this is not going to be good, I don't think. Ah, it's lumpy. All right, that is a fantastic question. So Edgar Price wants to know what the difference is between using the insert versus the post. Okay. I did a demonstration on this for a client not too long ago. Basically, there is no difference. However, if you are doing a fade out in a song, you want to make sure all of your mastering is done on the insert. Because if you put it on the post will actually drive the mastering. Does that make sense? So if you drop the volume of your mix using the main out and all of your mastering plugins are on the post, it's going to change the compression. It's going to change the EQ. It's going to change everything because you're not feeding as much of the song into your mastering. So, it is better to put all of your mastering, if you're going to master in a song like I do. I do very little mastering on the project page unless I'm actually mixing and mastering a bunch of songs. So if I've got 4 or 5 songs, I'm going to use the project page. If I got one, I'm going to use the song page. And it makes no difference in the end. I mean, if you're going to burn a CD or you're going to do a digital release, okay, then you got to use the project page. But if you're just going to master a song and you're just going to do a single mix down for the master, then you can use the song page. Shouldn't be a problem. All right, I hope that makes sense. So if you're not using the main out, I'm pointing to it here and you can't see. If you're not using the main out for your fade, if you're doing a fade, you can use the post. But just be aware, because I had a guy about not too long ago. He actually says, he goes, I'm having a real problem with my mastering because if I do it in the song page, I put all my mastering on, and when I fade out my song, all of my things start to pop differently on the fade out. And I suppose since it's fading out, it really doesn't matter. But it when it's noticeable, use the inserts. Definitely. That's again my opinion. That is not the, Johnny might have a different opinion on that, but as far as my experience with Studio One, that's the difference. Inserts, if you are using the main out to fade your song, some people use a mix bus, then it doesn't matter. Hey, Be the Crown is here. He says, good evening, everyone. Good to see you, Be the Crown. All right, let's see. Do we have... we got one more preset for our mixing and mastering. Let's go ahead and do vintage. And that is vintage. Okay, so, and that's got a ton of compression on it. I don't like that at all. All right, so I'm going to switch to the one that... that I created before we started playing with the presets.
Ourselves to hell.
Wow.
All would seem invisible if blood had a value. Would we have enough to sell?
Hey, Dwayne made it. Good to see ya.
We would be invincible.
That's it. So the other thing that you could do is you could bring all of this in, in the separate plugins. You could bring in your Pro EQ, you could bring in your Studio One compressor, you could bring in the Studio One limiter and everything. It's really hard to deny the fat channel for this. And of course, if you're going to be using the compressor, you have a ton of compressor options if you're going to be using it. I don't normally use any compression on anything that I've mastered recently. Now, it's been about, probably about 3 or 4 months since I've done a mastering project. I have one now, and in fact, I have their CD right here. I went to their practice space yesterday and saw them do their stuff live. They sound really good. And it's a... Here's how they introduced themselves. He said, well, we're a bunch of old guys, but we write all of our own songs. Everybody in the band is 65 and over. The drummer is 74 years old. He is a really good drummer, too. And I'm going to be doing the mastering for them, and I'm going to do a couple of songs for free to see if they like how I work, and if they do, I'll get the project. All right, so let's see here. Bobby Booth says that one sounds so much better. I know it does, doesn't it? It just sounds better than any of the presets. It really does. All right, Johnny has a comment here. I want to make sure that Oh, Mark Farmer just joined us. Good to see you, Mark. We're talking about mastering. Let's see. Johnny Lipstrom says, things to be aware of. Don't let your ears be fooled. Louder is not always better, even though our ears want us to believe that, yes. Now, I have a couple of meters on my speakers that I use to gauge the volume level in my studio when I master. Let me see if I can show you those. I mean, they're nothing scientifically accurate, but it keeps my volume level in the room at a normal range. Let me show you those. So let's see. Let me go to my full cameras. And let me go to my... Nope, that's not it. That's it. All right. So I'm going to move the camera up so that you guys can see them. Check 1, 2. All right, can you guys... I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see... I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see both of them. There's one on each speaker. And there's the other one right there. I can keep it on that one. So when I'm playing or mixing or mastering in my room, I never let my volume in here go above this level. So if I turn it down, there you go. So I make sure that the left and right meters meet in the middle, but don't turn red. This ensures that I'm always listening at the same level, because if I turn it up too loud, they don't move at all. So I always keep it at the same level, especially when I'm mastering. Johnny, that is probably the best advice of the night right there. All right, so let's see. Don Oliver says, if you move the song to the project page to put it on a CD, will you lose your mastering? Well, no. Yeah, you won't lose the mastering if you move it and all of your stuff is on. If you want to move the song to the project page so that you can master it there, then you would actually turn all of this off here. Just like that. You would turn it off. So if I have this on and I go ahead and I send the song to the project page, everything that I did here will move with it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Johnny says, if you are mastering in the project page, no, you will not. Okay, good. Let's see. Edgar Price says, can you post a link to those volume meters? Oh, sure. They're just like I got them on Amazon. And there was a friend of mine who is a professional mastering engineer, and he says these things are cheap and they're really just for decoration mostly, but they are perfect for gauging when you're actually having things too loud. So yes, I will post a link. I'll put it, let's see. Let me see here. You know, I may as well do it right here. Let's go to Amazon. And I'll post a quick link too. Let's see. EU. There's some really good ones. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I should say LED. Unless they're not available anymore. VU meters, LED meters. Ah, here we go. Oh, wow. They didn't have stuff like this when I was looking some time ago. Ah, there's another one. Wonder how these would work. Oh, I'm going to have to try one of these. I'm going to have to try one of those. So, dual LED channel volume. I have one on each. Oh, Edgar Price says, I sold you on the deck savers, by the way. Excellent. I don't see the ones that I have. Multi-mode LED spectrum light audio level indicator. Meter, 12-volt car player, atmosphere, amp lighting. You could use something like this. I don't know if there's going to be a video on it. Well, that's kind of cool. You can actually adjust. So you can actually set your room or set your speakers to the volume that you like that's comfortable and then set the meters to it. Let me grab this link. I'm going to put it in the chat. There you go. I do want to try to find the ones that I have because they are really, really accurate. Well, as accurate as they can be, I suppose. Yeah, maybe they're just not available. So let's see. VU LED meters. Gonna get rid of this part. There you go. Well, see, there's another thing that you can do too. You can get yourself a real audio meter, and you can actually troubleshoot your room if you feel you're going too loud with stuff. Oh, there you go. Let's do this here. There we go. Yeah, see, there are those again. Yeah, these look to be the closest to what I have. Yeah, there they are. I just love the fact that you can adjust them. See, that's nice, because then you can set your speakers at the volume that you like. Adjust the VU meter. You can put it like on top of your center monitor or like your video monitor. And then you can always keep your audio. You can always keep your audio for the room at the right level when you're doing mixing or mastering. I mean, they're more useful, I think, for mastering. But I don't see the ones that I have here anymore. Now, I bought these years ago, so. See, is there like more? Let's see, number 2. Oh, see now. Desktop sound meter. Yeah, see all of this stuff. Ooh. See, all of this stuff is actually quite cool. These are $49. This really. You get decibel. No, okay. I'm gonna give you guys a link to this. That is really nice. Oh, I might, I might be upgrading my decibel meter. That's cool. If you use the links that I provide, I get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon because I've got an Amazon affiliate deal. I don't really get much money from it, maybe $1 or $2 when I recommend stuff. But if you want to help support the channel, you can do those links, or you can just go ahead and do a search on Amazon for your own links. All right, there you go. It's almost 7 o'clock, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Yeah, Bobby Booth kind of confirms what I do. He says, since I only master one song at a time, I really never use the project page. Yeah. Or he says he never uses the project page. I only use it when I'm mastering multiple songs together. Edgar Price says, thanks. Yeah, most of that stuff is pretty inexpensive. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. I will definitely put those links in the description to this video once I actually post it, so that you guys can, for those of you that are watching this as a replay, if you don't see the chat, or if you have the chat closed or whatever, you guys will still be able to get them. But they are very cool. They are very cool. We got this one here, which I'm really liking. It's got a decibel level as opposed to just the LEDs. And I think the other link I posted, see if I can find it again. I can just paste the link. Duh. This one. This was the other one. Whoops. That is totally not it. Oh, I know why. Because I posted it in the wrong place. There it is. That's the other one. Although, I do prefer this one. That's nice. Oh, that's a more expensive one. But you guys get the idea. There's the $49 one. There we go. Everything from, I think that's a clock. Pretty sure that's a clock. It's got a decibel level. Look at this. And it's got the, yeah. I'm starting to think now I need to order this because it's got these little smiley faces. That'll tell you when shit's too loud. Whoops, I swore, sorry. This looks cool. I think I'm going to buy this. I'll do a review on it because that looks really cool. I think I'm going to add it to my cart. Should I buy it now? Like right now? This is called complete impulse buying. I got paid today, so I'm sure I'll be sorry for buying this now. All right. There it is. Just like that. All right. I was be the crown laughing. Let's see. Maybe next week we can actually take some suggestions. Nobody really gave any mastering suggestions here. Yeah, mind your language, says Johnny. Yeah, you should talk. I've got evidence you have a potty mouth. Johnny Lipsham calling the kettle. Would you like to be the pot or the kettle? I have proof. Unless you took it down. Because I didn't make a copy of my proof. All right, for those of you that are interested, the song is called Pride. And it was recorded way back in the early 2000s. It was a few years after my son was born. He said he swears like a true Scot. Nice. If anybody is interested in the song, I am putting together a couple of albums of all the stuff, since I really don't record my own music anymore. I have a catalog of almost 300 songs. I think over 300 songs. So my brother David has pushed me to actually start releasing some of this stuff. I've never released it. I've used it for my live streams. I've used them for my videos. But I have one album out there. It's called Dancing with Eve. That was actually done in the 90s. So I think I need to get a little bit more current stuff up there. So if anybody's interested, leave a comment in the comments area, and I'll see about putting the album together and getting it out there for release. All right, that is going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys learned something here. Now, like I said, this mastering video live stream, this isn't scientific. This isn't like going to a mastering engineer and looking for all the settings and everything. I do my mastering by ear. I have a big client list of people that I do, well, at least I consider it big. I think 20 people, 22 people is pretty big. People that I master songs for all the time, and they like my methods. If you guys agree, again, let me know in the comments. Let's see. Johnny says, I have not taken down my very drunk and sweary Hugmany show. He says, go check it out. Yeah, get a link for everybody, Johnny. It was a great show. I did go back and watch it. You went on for quite a while. It was actually pretty cool. But there you go. All right. So, yeah. So there are many different ways to master. If you like to master your own stuff, I suggest using your ears, getting some of the meters that I recommend. I just purchased that one that I found on Amazon, so I will definitely do a review of it and see how, and see what smiley face I light up. So, all right. Let's see. Bobby Booth says it gives people ideas on how to master a song. Good. And then that's what it is, too. I am not a professional mastering engineer by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel I get good results, and I got over 20 people that actually agree. So, anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, I really like to see the chats move and have you guys make comments and, give me ideas for things and stuff like that. If you look at the bottom of the chat, you'll see a link to Johnny's New Year's show. It was fantastic. You guys got to go check it out. And that'll be it. Bobby Booth says, neither am I. Well, I've heard some of your mixes, Bobby, and you are just as good as anything I can do for sure. That might not be saying much, but I love the mixes that I've heard from you so far. All right, that's going to be it for me. And and let me know. Maybe I should send this song, the mix portion, to Gregor and Joe Gilder. They did a decent review on a song that I sent them not too long ago. So I'm definitely going to do that. Billy Morgan says, good night, everyone. God bless and be safe. And, I have to say this. I think 8 of my clients for mixing and mastering and teaching are out in California. I have only heard from 2 of them. I have sent them all emails. So if I missed one and you are in this chat, please stay safe. It looks like everything from natural fires to sabotage. I don't know. I don't really listen to the news anymore because it's never right. But please stay safe, all of you. And if you didn't get one of my emails, if I missed somebody and you live out there and you've been a client of mine, please let me know you're okay. Please. I really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Tracy is here. Good to see you, Tracy. She said, I'm assuming your gender. I apologize. Tracy says, thanks, Johnny, for doing everything you do. I appreciate that. And Sheila says, good night. All right, take care, folks. I'll see you all in the next live stream.